Give me a minute. Yes, and thank you for for clicking on that button for record. So let me just do my best to get this going. Super duper great. And now, okay, how do we do this? Sorry, guys. I will be able to get back shortly. 1 second. Trying to share the screen. Okay. Great. Just 1 second. What happened to me? Am I lost? Okay. Here we are now. That should be it. Share fully. Okay. Right. Great. All right. I really hope you can see my screen. Everyone, I hope you can see my screen. Just 1 second. Right. You can see my screen, everyone? If you can see my screen, maybe McKenna, you can confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, McKenna, able to unmute yourself now? Unmute yourself now.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Great. And let's get move on. Fantastic. Let's move on now. Great. You can see my screen. So let's get with this topic for today. And we are talking about the key to ultimate human health. Those are my socials. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, please feel free to scan and of course follow me. I'll put this at the end of the presentation as well. But for now, we are going to talk about the most powerful terahertz frequency therapy device today. And I'll be talking specifically about Itera Premium Plus. That's the third one that you can see, the nice colored one, very beautiful machine as you can see. It's in purple. Some people tell me that's not purple. Some people call it, is it fuchsia? Some color like that. But women call it purple. Yes, and I believe we are right. Great. Now, disclaimer. I would like to say that Iteracare is not a medical device. It's actually a household electrical appliance. Yes, it's been used to be able to enhance our health, but at the same time, I want you to know that it's not a medical device and we do not claim it to be. But what are we talking about today? I want us to talk about the way the lifestyle has become. You know, long time ago, people used to be born and they age gracefully. And then, you know, they just pass away naturally. You see, it used to be a natural death because they'll die when they are like around 110, 17, 20, 20 something, with no pain, with no suffering. But the way the modern lifestyle has become, is we are now after the age of 50, people start experiencing difficulties in life. Many times, even before 50, by the way, you know, we have prevalent illnesses that have become almost like normal: diabetes, arthritis. You know, like the other day, I was speaking with some colleagues in golf, and they were telling me apparently arthritis is supposed to be normal. You know, like if I try to set a game with them, by the way, this might sound funny, but not very funny to them. In the morning, they tell me them they cannot play before 11 a.m. because apparently around 8 o'clock, that's when arthritis are shivered the most. I'm not so sure how that is, but and I asked them, must it be normal? Has it been made to look normal? And they made it feel like apparently when you turn some age, that has to catch up with you. But I want you guys to know that it's not normal. Let's not pretend it's normal. We can actually correct this so that people do not need to suffer before they actually age. We need to be seeing people when they are 90 and so on and so forth. And you know, and aging well, okay? Yes. And we've got some leading causes of death. All right. Quite a number of them. We've got, you know, stroke. We've got, you know, quite a number of illnesses. And I want to move on and invite my colleague, Max. Max, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, yes,
Ask Edu too.
Bernadette.
Edu, if you can make McKenna co-host so that she can unmute herself at will. Thank you. Max?
Yes, thank you so much, Bernard. And I mean, it's very concerning when you talk about your colleagues believing and owning their disease, their arthritis, so much. And that just speaks to me and tells me that a lot of us do not believe in the power of our bodies to heal ourselves. And I hope by the end of this Zoom meeting, we'll be able to at least give you confidence in the ability the Lord has given your body to heal itself. And I like to say the Lord because when the Creator made you, created us, He put systems that work. And those systems are supposed to work for us for so many, many years. But of course, so many things are affecting us these days. There are many modern problems that are causing disease to us, things that we do not have control over. But never should you get to a point where you own and believe in disease that much. When you start talking about my arthritis and this, and me, I always have pain, I can't do things in the morning, you are not believing in what the Lord created for you. And so, if we can first understand the things that cause disease and how the body is naturally meant to heal itself, then perhaps it's going to strengthen our faith in our own bodies and in God, and therefore inform us on how to better take care of our bodies and accelerate that healing system. I said I'm a firm believer in natural medicine and the natural way of healing because I do not believe my body will fail me as long as I am taking care of it. And when we talk about a lot of sicknesses, sickness first manifests in pain. Pain is a physical manifestation of something not going right in your body. But what are we doing these days? And all of us are familiar with this. What are we doing? Painkillers. What do painkillers do? Painkillers block the nerve receptors of the pain receptors in your body. They block the pain signals. So when you think about this, your pain has gone, but have you taken care of what was the problem really? And when let's talk about infections, what do they give you? Antibiotics. These days, we even prescribe ourselves antibiotics. Us ladies will probably have something. We always have some type of medicine, conventional medicine in our bags. Mtu akishasema anaumwa na kichwa, we are so generous. Oh, by the way, I have my Buscopan. And we keep going to stronger lengths with these painkillers. And what I would like to say is, first of all, I'd like to discourage you from constantly dishing out medicine and taking it for yourself, because what we are doing, these are shortcuts. And what shortcuts do, ideally, we are trying to achieve instant results. But now, when we take these types of shortcuts, we severely disrupt the body's natural system. So, what the body was meant to do for itself, what the Lord made for your body to do itself, now it's not doing it anymore. And a lot of the disease that we have is caused by inflammation, especially caused by blockages. And there's a reason these blockages are building up in our body. If sometimes you could be eating so well, but the nutrients are not getting to where they need to get because your transport system, that is the blood circulation system, what is blocked. So hata ukikula vizuri aje, at the end of the day, the nutrients are not getting where they need to get, and therefore you're not nourishing yourself. You cannot avoid disease that way. A lot of the blockages we have are caused by toxins, and these toxins are caused by prolonged use of some of this chemical-based medicine, because it is going to help you in one way by especially masking the pain, but at the same time leaving so much toxin and residue in your body. I'm here at Kilimani Wellness. It really breaks my heart to every week I'm interacting with someone who has just started dialysis or in the process of dialysis, and I'm asking myself, I before I came to Nairobi, I didn't even know about kidney dialysis. I don't think it was that common, but these days people are lining up in centers. It's becoming very, very popular. That begs the question, why are our kidneys failing? And the only conclusion I can come to is the fact that we are overloading our kidneys with residue and toxin they have to clean out. And we are doing this at such a high rate that it's not working anymore. It's failing. When you overload your, say, kitchen sink, if you're washing your utensils and you keep pouring food over there, the system is going to fail, and your body is going to fail the same way if you're constantly loading it with toxins. And a lot of these people that are in for dialysis, they're bitter because they feel like, I've been taking all the drugs, I don't skip dosages, I'm very keen on supplements, and they are trying their best. And I completely appreciate that. I know you guys are trying, you are conscious of your health, but then you are solving one problem and creating another. Then what are we doing exactly? That is not win for me. I don't know if it is for you, but it shouldn't be. Is there a way for us to heal the body naturally without interfering with any systems, especially chemically, and without creating any other type of problem? The answer is yes, there is a way. And for us to understand how to heal our bodies without any type of interference, then we have to understand how our bodies heal themselves. And it says there's a secret healing system in our body because no one is talking about this really. We have been cultured. Doctors are the way to go. But your body can heal itself. And this video has broken it down in such a beautiful way. And the key concept here is the stem cells. So Bernard is going to play that video for us. It will give you a bit of an idea. Then we can take it from there. Because when you understand how the body can heal itself, then you believe. And when you believe, you start taking action to support and accelerate that healing without any chemical interference. Bernard, please go ahead and play the video.
Okay. Please let me know if you can hear the sound.
Whenever there is an injury or a
Can
challenge
you hear
to
the
an
sound?
organ or tissue, a whole process of
Max?
renewal takes place in the body to help restore
Max,
optimal health.
can you hear the sound on your side?
Soon after the injury, the affected tissue
Kenna?
releases specific compounds
Kenna,
that
you're
travel
muted.
through the blood to the bone
Can you hear
marrow.
the sound? Or any of the admins? Can
When
you
the
hear the sound?
compounds
Yes,
released
yes, I can hear the
I can hear
sound.
it. Thank you.
these
Great.
messengers tell the stem cells in the bone marrow to divide and create new stem cells, which are then released from the bone
Sorry, guys.
marrow into the bloodstream. Slowly, the number of stem cells increases in the blood circulation.
Are we able
At
to
the
start
same
again, Bernard, the video?
tissue releases another compound called stromal derived. Whenever there is an injury or a challenge to an organ or tissue, a whole process of renewal takes place in the body to help restore optimal health. Soon after the injury, the affected tissue releases specific compounds that travel through the blood to the bone marrow. When the compounds released by the injured tissue reach the bone marrow, these messengers tell the stem cells in the bone marrow to divide and create new stem cells, which are then released from the bone marrow into the bloodstream. Slowly, the number of stem cells increases in the blood circulation. At the same time, the affected tissue releases another compound called stromal derived factor 1, or SDF1, that attracts stem cells. As stem cells circulate in the fine blood vessels of the affected tissue and sense the presence of this compound, they stop in the blood flow and migrate into the tissue. Inside the tissue, stem cells slowly migrate to the very site of injury where SDF1 is being secreted. When they reach the site of the injury and come into contact with the damaged tissue, stem cells begin to multiply and then slowly transform into cells of that tissue. Through this process of amplification, one stem cell can become thousands of tissue cells. It is through this natural process of renewal that the body maintains optimal health every day of our lives. More stem cells in circulation means that more stem cells are available to participate in the process of tissue repair.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much, Bernard. Now, just in case anyone has any questions, also you can drop them in the chat because I don't want to leave anybody behind, and this is very, very important. I hope we all now have a rough understanding of how the body heals itself. This is the system that the Lord put in our bodies for healing. So, when you have any type of disease, the question that we would ask ourselves then is, does it mean that the system in my body is failing? Why is it failing to combat this particular disease? And I can assure you that healing force that you have, the healing system, what you've just seen, it can and heal all diseases completely. And I know there are diseases that have been amplified to be these insane diseases and death sentences, but I want to assure you that your body can completely take care of these problems for you. But the question that we have to keep constantly ask ourselves is, are we supporting the healing system of the body well? And that is in terms of our diet. We're talking about cells, the stem cells, and I'll get to that. We're talking about cells. So if any disease, if you have any kind of condition, the first thing that should click in your head is there is a certain cells of an organ that are being affected. And by the time you get to pain, that means your body has really been trying to fight this, but now it's telling you, by the way, I am struggling with something, because ideally our body is healing itself even without us knowing, because there are constant things we are exposed to that we do not have control over. There is stress. Of course, there's normal wear and tear. I mean, as we get older, our cells also, some of them die. But there is a regenerative process that takes place in our body. So as these ones die from stress and others are not functioning properly, the body is replacing them. So if your healing system was working perfectly, you'd not even notice that your body is fighting something. So by the time your body, you're feeling, oh my God, my back, my legs are really, really hurting, the body is probably signaling you of something. And when I think about it a lot, it is most probably two things, either a deficiency, and this could be a deficiency of the things a cell needs to thrive. And what are those? Just proper nutrition and oxygen. It's actually that simple. So whenever your body is failing in terms of healing, you have to ask yourself first, am I giving the cells what they need to service me? Think of it like a car. A car requires what? Petrol, maybe. That is petrol cars, and diesel cars, they require diesel and oil to run. If this car, it could have its engine, but if this car does not have petrol or diesel, depending on what it requires, that car is not going to move. Your body is exactly the same way. So if you're not giving it what it requires, your body is not going to serve you as much as there is a system that can completely serve you. The second thing has to be there is a disruption in this system. And the biggest disruptor of your healing system is toxin. And there's different types of toxin, really. There is what we get from toxin, really, from the environment. Our air is completely polluted these days. Our respiratory systems have to do overtime. The foods that we eat filled with pesticides, that's why you have to keep washing your fruits and vegetables with like white vinegar. But there are things you can't completely control. Bacteria, viruses. These are things that could bring a problem or a fault in your system. So when you're able to answer these two questions when you're dealing with any type of disease, then you're able to know, where do I start? And that is why we take so much pride in treating the root cause of the problem. And we have nothing against conventional medicine, but I am a very strong believer that conventional medicine just masks a lot of things. We are forcing the body to give us some results that we want, whether the body is ready for that or prepared for that or not. And the preparation the body needs is your nutrition. How are you eating your food? Are you powering your cells enough for them to participate in the healing process? And if there is a type of blockage or toxin accumulation, what are you doing to clear the channels of this system? Like if you have your sink, if it is blocked, you will use a plunger to unblock it. And if that doesn't work, you'll go ahead and call who? A plumber. So why aren't we doing the same for our bodies? Why are we constantly running to mask things that are later becoming bigger diseases when our bodies can do these things for us? And the stem cells are what God gave us to replace anything, because God knew you would be subjected to a lot of wear and tear and things that you can't control. So He gave you the stem cells. So if your liver is failing, the body recruits stem cells. Please come help. They go there and become what? The liver cells. If your intestines are failing, the stem cells go and become what? Enterocytes. Enterocytes are the cells for the intestine. If your heart is failing, they go and become the cardiac cells. So you have such a strong system that can function for you. So if it is not working for you, there is something that you are not doing. And the first step is what? The nutrition. If you've taken care of your nutrition, then that is where we come in. That is where now we are able to do what I like to call charging the cell. Because your cell is definitely bound to be sluggish sometimes. Your systems are bound to be sluggish sometimes, and you do not have control over some of these things really. But the same way simu yako ikiisha moto, you connect it to a charger and it gives you a low battery notification. That pain you're feeling is your low battery notification. And you, what are you doing? You're taking a painkiller. You're not trying to charge your body. And you have a port where you charge your phone with. You have to connect it to power. You give it time and it comes back to 100%. Ama kama uko na haraka by 90%. Why aren't we doing the same servicing for our own bodies? My answer is because we do not understand or believe in our healing system ourselves. That's why we are looking for foreign solutions. But we don't need to do that. At least you that are in this Zoom meeting, you will now have the obligation to do better, because after this meeting, you will know better. And it's not enough for you to just know. You have to act on what you learn here and talk to people about it. Because as Bernard said, the life is changing right now. Kitambo, people used to live such a wholesome life. But these days, like right now, I'm around 26 years old and I am already thinking, oh my God, do I need to have a savings account for when my mother starts becoming sick? So it's like I'm working so that I go and do what? Get ready to use the money that I've been working for instead of enjoying myself. I'm thinking now I have to go just in case they get sick, because we have own disease, because by the time she's reaching 60 or 70, I expect her to get sick. No, that's not how I want my life to be. And I sure hope that's not how you want your life to be. But if you are already there, there is hope. Let me tell you, there is hope. That is why Pref International is here. And the Itera Premium Plus is the charger of our body. Think of all these cells like batteries. The batteries that you use maybe for your torch or for the remote control. It's about now charging these batteries so that we take the body to its normal functioning. Because we've already seen how the healing system works, right? So the question is, how can we support that healing system so that the body accelerates healing? And because we do not have control over the things, the radiations on our phones, all of us right now are using a smart device, constant radiation. You can't control that. You won't say, I won't use my phone again because McKenna said it produces radiation. No, you just find a way to protect your body against that radiation from it affecting you. So we are bringing to you a human charger. But as long as you're doing your due diligence, are you eating well? Your nutrition, are you making sure? We even have an oxygen supplement. Are you giving your cell what it needs, nutrition and oxygen? Then if you are, we are able to charge that cell so that then it is performing optimally. And any cell that could be sleeping, oh, today I'm so tired, unaipiga boost, and it continues doing the functions that it is supposed to do for you. The healing system just needs to be supported naturally, and you can heal all disease. We are not allowed to say we heal people, but let me tell you guys, I have known this company for what, just 7 months right now, and me, I will make the claim that we can heal people because I have seen testimonies that have brought me to tears just here at Kilimani Wellness Gallery. So I
Yeah,
believe this is a
Makene. And on that
device.
note,
Yes.
yeah, actually, on that note of testimony now, I've got um, Lillian on the call, who actually
Beautiful.
will be able to tell us about our journey of using Iteracare. Just 1 second. Lillian, are you on the call? I'm looking for you so that I can be able to unmute you. Lillian, 1 second. Okay, Lillian. Lillian, okay, there are two Lillians. Maybe you raise your hand, Lillian, so that I'm able to.
Kahiro.
Yeah. Okay, Lillian, I've requested if you can be able to unmute yourself. Lillian, able to unmute yourself? All right, Lillian. Okay, Lillian, if you're on the
Hello.
call,
Yes.
yes.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hi,
Good evening,
Lillian.
Lillian.
Hi. I've given this testimony many a times, and I'll continue giving it because I've seen God's hand through this Itera Premium Plus. I came to know about Itera Premium Plus through my friend Flomina, and I asked whether it could open my veins because I have serious varicose veins. And before I used it, I had to do an analysis recommended by Dr. Cynthia. And after doing the analysis, I didn't even go for, I didn't start treatment because of the veins. I fell in my kitchen and had a fracture of my elbow. So the evening I fell, floor called Kilimani Wellness, and they actually waited for me until way past time. I did one therapy and I slept not even knowing I had a fracture. So the following morning, when I saw a swelling, is when I did an X-ray, encouraged by Dr. Cynthia, and she called Kilibani Wellness and told them to give me 10 sessions of therapy, and on the fourth one, to start doing a bit of physio. So on the fourth, I did that, and on the fourth therapy, they kept telling me, Lillian, with the device at home, healing comes faster. So my daughter got me the Premium Plus on the fourth session. And for sure, I can attest that I could use the Premium Plus like 3 or 4 times a day. I supplemented it with the products Nanocal and Alfalfa, and that was in September. By November, mid-November, I was back to work. Even if it wasn't 100%, I could use my right hand. When I felt I couldn't even feed myself or bathe, I had people doing that. But with me blowing the Iteracare like 3-4 times, structuring my water, doing the regime properly, it actually I regained the use of my hand. I really, really thank God. It's people would say it's a miracle, but it's the hand of God. And for sure, guys, I never used any medicine. I did not even use any painkiller. The therapy just takes away the pain. By and by, I also discovered that as I used the Itera, my blood veins started opening. The varicose veins, by and by, getting better. One of my hands was totally black, but the flow of blood now, I don't even get numbness anymore. So I really thank God for this device, and I thank God that Prife International was able to bring such a device to humanity. Thank you, guys.
Asante sana. Thank you very much, Lillian. Yes, and also I would like to invite probably anyone else on the call who probably has seen the miracles of Itera Premium Plus. To just let me know, raise your hand. I'll be able to ask you to, and I'll be able to unmute you. Priscilla, I remember the other day we were talking about you had a patient and who is also doing very well. Priscilla, I've asked you whether you could be able to unmute. I don't know if you're seeing my call, Priscilla. Yeah, it's Priscilla. Yes, Priscilla.
Thank you. I'm happy for this kind of a lesson. The other day I had a client. This client, we gave the Itera device some time back last year. And because I was so much engaged that day, I requested Jeremy to go and take Iteracare to her because she had lung cancer stage 2. And sooner or later, people will be able to meet with her. She is doing very, very well. Actually, by early this year, she came reported to me that doctors have cleared her lung cancer. She blew her back because lungs are very bad. And the time I met her, we were in church and she was in much, much pain. And I ran in the house and came with my device in church and I worked on her. And that day she slept like a baby. That's when she told me, Priscilla, I would like that device. And I sent Jeremy. And Jeremy went in her house. She took videos. And those videos she has been sharing with them to people. Actually, she has connected us to about 10 people who have also purchased devices. 10. She is not yet in the picture. She is becoming to the picture very soon. But why is she doing that? And she is moving with very high speed is because her recovery has come. She is not able to stop talking. And actually, even she could not be able to purchase the one for Premium Plus. She just took a classic. That was last year around July. So she is ready to come and share her testimony live. And she is sending many, many people who we are expecting they are coming carrying testimony with their baskets and their bags to us. So her name is Lillian, actually. She's also Lillian, and I can see another Lillian here, and I'm happy to hear that testimony. It's quite heart moving. So what we would say is we just can tell God thank you for enabling people somewhere to hack this good thing, natural thing that can come and be a comfort in such a times like this. May God bless you. Be ready. Sooner or later, she's coming in full blast. And she has a crowd like
Thank
of
you.
many people.
Asante. Asante very much, Professor. Yeah, so, and that's wonderful to hear. And I know you've seen so many miracles anyway on your end. We are happy to hear about that one. And there's also my colleague, Flo. Flo Minor, I'm asking you to unmute. Yeah, because you'd be able to tell us about Flo.
Yes,
Flo.
Kiraithe.
Fantastic. Yeah, because you're the one who introduced Edith's mom to us, so you'll be able probably to tell us how it was because you were there day one. And of course, we even did a video of her the other day, and you're the one who interviewed her. So you probably could tell us about her case. Yes.
Okay. Hi everybody. We had I have a friend of mine who's not on the call tonight, but she brought her mom on the first day when we were opening Kilimani Wellness Gallery. We had not even launched. It was the day that we were trying to sort out the office. And her mom was in a lot of pain and she couldn't walk. She was being handled by two of her aides. And when they got there, we did an analysis, but she could not stay because she was in a lot of pain. And so we sent her home to her daughter's place while we analyzed her quantum, her results. And then we now took the Iteracare to her home, her daughter's home, to go and administer the therapy, the frequency therapy. When I got there, she was happy because she was now seated, but still waiting to understand, okay, what is all this and everything. And we asked her to take her structured water. I guess McKenna will explain what structured water is. And then we lay her on the bed and we gave her a 30 minutes only on the Itera. I'm telling you, the woman who was being held now was walking, but she was very scared because she didn't believe. She had not walked for a long time. She couldn't even go to church. The priest was bringing her the Eucharist at home, doing mass for her and bringing her the Eucharist to take at home. And by the time now she was walking, after half an hour, she was like, what is this? But she still needed to be held because she was not confident to walk on her own. What I can say is in 4 days, Edith's mom was able to walk, and I pray that Edith will be here on one of these calls to be able to give her own testimony of her mom and the journey she has walked with her mom. Today, her mom is able to go to the church, and she has brought us a lot of customers because every time she goes to to the church and to all these Chama meetings, and this is a very old lady, she's 89. This year she turned 89. So people keep asking her, what is this that you're doing? And she says, I just use that thing, the device, and they blow on me, and this is what has happened. And so we continue to receive very good testimonials from her, and we're happy that we could walk that journey with her. Thank you, Kiraithe. Thank you, everybody.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. And at least, everyone, of course, can be able to hear. We've actually seen their near miracles. And just like my colleague McKenna said, yes, God heals. And we believe God is the one who sent Iteracare to us. So grab one Itera Premium Plus for yourself today. In fact, maybe Flody mentioned this, but yes, Edith's mom looks so good. She's 89. She looks so good today. And now, because also the daughter went ahead and bought even the Oxytap for her. So she takes now oxygen water. And let me tell you, that family is very happy and all, so which is awesome. Great. So now we'll be able to move on. I don't know if there's anyone else on the call. I want to enable people to unmute themselves. I've now allowed participants to unmute themselves. So if you probably have a story that you'd like us to hear kindly, and you feel is very compelling, you could actually be able to unmute yourself and just let us know. If you're on this call, I've allowed for participants to unmute. Or if you're not able to unmute, please, you could raise your hand and I could be able to.
Evening.
Yes, Ronald, Karibu.
Yes, I have a lady called Madam Saumu. She was on a wheelchair, but because of Iteracare, in only 2 months, she was able to walk. So she can give us a brief testimony about herself.
Saumu, are you on the call? Are you able to unmute yourself? Saumu, I'd seen you on the call earlier. You can unmute yourself, Saumu Abdallah. If you can hear me loud and clear, please just unmute yourself. Would be very happy to hear about your miracle story. Saumu?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, this is Saumu.
Salama sana.
Yeah, just as Ronald has said, I had a problem with my nerves and I didn't know. It reached a level I was put on wheelchair. because I couldn't walk. But when I came to Prive and I was given the therapy, Iteracare, and in fact, it wasn't nerves only. I had nerves problem, I had pressure. And then it's like I'd been on strong painkillers for very many years. But after meeting Itera and having the therapy, I just stopped using the drugs immediately. I had some crisis for almost 3 or 4 weeks, but I thank God after that I stopped using. Talking about pressure, it's like I ask, are you still in that land of? So I thank Itera so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Saumu. It's good to hear your story. Asante sana. Great. So
May
with
I
that,
ask a question?
yes.
I've heard you say or the others say about the Itera Premium Plus.
Mhm.
Yes, and now my question is: are the testimonies given based on use of the Iteracare Plus or Iteracare machines, even the classic one?
Yes. Okay, great. Now, like you've heard, in the case of Lillian's story, who was the first to speak, it was Itera Premium Plus. In case of Edith's mom, the one Flo spoke about, yes, it was Itera Premium Plus. In the case of the patient that Priscilla talked about, as you heard, was a classic. Yes. And then for Saumu, I don't know whether it was classic or Premium Plus.
For Saumu, it was classic, but I later graduated to Premium Plus.
Fantastic.
Okay, let me be very honest with you, my colleagues in health and wellness. I have been using the Iteracare Classic, the 2.1 and the 2.2, and I think I've got a lot of testimonies about the Iteracare devices, especially the one I've used. There's a time I used to have 3, then actually I've blown up 3 of them so far. Now, I have testimonies about people with glaucoma, with cataracts, people who had nerve problems, people who had strokes, people who have had various types of cancers. And today, I would like only that the lady has gone, but I sent a message yesterday about 2 ladies. Now, the 24-year-old came, she was in terrible pain, and she was bleeding. And when she reached here, the first thing she told me was that she felt dizzy and she was like she was going to fall down. So I showed her a place to have some rest. And after that, before she went to rest, I gave her a lot of structured water to drink. I think she drank like 2 liters or more. Then she told me, please, if you can allow me, let me have a small nap. I said, go ahead. She arrived here around 9 in the morning, and it was by around 11 when I did therapy on her. She was very weak, in very severe pain. The center of her head, at the top of her head, was paining so much. The abdominal pains were just too much. I don't know whether I call them stomach cramps or what. But after 45 minutes of Iteracare, I didn't go for 30. I was going very slowly. There is a time I think some of the blood vessels on her left leg behaved funny, and she complains, and I followed those blood vessels. After that, she was very happy. She stood up. She even walked. This evening, she's called me to tell me something funny has happened. After therapy, there is a big lump of blood that came out, and then normal blood started flowing. And now she's feeling very, 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 very okay. She promised she'll be coming tomorrow. I don't know whether to make a video call to those who will be present, who will be able to see. Now, I also have a testimony about vitiligo. There are several people who had vitiligo, and vitiligo has disappeared with Iteracare therapy. Plus. I want to do this. Next time we have a Zoom meeting, or especially when we have something that can be done during daytime, I would like to assemble some of these people. Then we can have a video call and everyone can give their own testimony. This young lady's mother had breast cancer on her right breast. The doctors were amazed after 5 therapies. After 5 sessions, whatever they wanted, or whatever reason they had to go and do surgery and remove their right hand breast, the thing was gone. So that is just to mention a few. Let's go on.
Thank you, Kombe. Kombe, where are you based?
I'm based at the coast. I'm actually based at a place called Mariakani. Okay. And my name has gone all over up to Zanzibar. I have been called to go and handle cases in Zanzibar. I've been called all over at the place. Even right now, I have an invitation from one of the renowned neurosurgeons in the country to go to Siaya for 1 month.
Wow. That's a great testimony, Kombe. And like you said, please feel free to record some videos and you can share with our CEO, Susan, and she'll be very happy to share with the rest of us. Again, remember we have
I
this.
already did that. There are some videos I sent.
Fantastic. Yes, we also will have another Zoom call here on Thursday, of course, and also again on Friday, I believe, as tomorrow. So, of course, we'll be very happy to hear their stories because these stories of these people are the ones that will give hope majority of other people as well. So thank you very much, Kombe, for sharing. And like you've heard, Kombe has handled quite a number of conditions. And someone, Cabello, is asking about arthritis. The story that Flo shared for Edith's mom.
Before you go on, I have
arthritis.
A testimony on arthritis.
Yes, Kombe.
There is a lady, and
I
shared her photo. She had very severe arthritis and she couldn't walk. And on the 3rd day, she stood up and started walking. And I think I shared those videos because she wanted the videos to be taken to her children who are out of the country.
Wow. Okay, great. So for Cabello was asking about arthritis, there you have it.
Parkinson's disease also.
Parkinson's disease that has completely been reversed?
Yes.
Okay, great. So thank you. We've had the stories. Kombe will be reaching out to you for more. And yes, we'll of course look out for those videos. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our presentation. But before that, because Kombe has talked about structured water, also did Flo. I'll ask my colleague, McKenna. McKenna, if you could unmute yourself and just in very brief, just let us know what is structured water for those guests who are on this call who probably do not understand when we talk about structured water, for them to know. Yes, Max.
Okay, thank you, Bernard. The testimonies have been amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Structured water, or let's even call it terahertz water, is water that we have affected with the terahertz frequency by means of blowing. And the type of affecting that I talk about here is ideally the water molecules, that is the H2O. We all know how that type of molecule looks like from our chemistry. The water molecule ideally exists in what we like to call a cluster state. A cluster state, the best way for you to understand that is like, think of your chapati flour, unga, a chapati. If it stays in your cabinet for so long, it starts lumping up. So those lumps, picture those lumps as the clusters in the water, now the water molecules. But now the state that the body requires to use the water that you take is what we call now the linear state. So the job is to move the water molecules from the clusters and make the water molecules vibrate using the terahertz frequency to a linear form. Now this is the form that is best for water absorption in the body. That cluster, that linear form completely aligns or resonates with the form, with the linear form found in the water in your cells. Your cells are made of 70% water. So if we can take the water that we drink and make it in a state that the body can directly absorb so that it interacts perfectly with the water in our cells, then we are increasing the rate of absorption of the water and therefore increasing now the functionality that the water plays in our bodies and increasing metabolism, which is what supports functioning. And at the same time, we are loading the water molecule with the terahertz frequency. That terahertz frequency is transferred to the cells and starts functioning the same way as if we were blowing. So that is how the structured water is able to help and is slightly better.
Sorry, guys, we seem to be losing McKenna. Sorry. I think my colleague.
Yeah. Bernard, you lost me. Hello.
Actually, I think it's Bernard who is having issues.
It looks like it's me who was having issues. All along I thought it's McKenna. Kumbe, it's me. My apologies, guys. Sorry. Yeah, and Yonaona. Now, so thank you, Max. That was a very clear explanation, and I believe everyone has been able to understand it. So for all our guests who are on this call, welcome to get an Iteracare Premium Plus for yourself and for your loved ones. You've had the kind of miracles that, of course, it's doing around this world. So before probably your people go spending a lot more money on medical care, let them try this. And of course, I believe the stories will be the same. So please get back to the person who invited you to this call. And also, if you have a concern or a condition you're not so sure we've been able to address it here, get back to the person who invited you to this call and they'll be able to address your concern as well. And also, they'll be able to let you be able to get, of course, your own Iteracare Premium Plus. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish you a very good night. I want to wish you a very healthy life. And like McKenna said, let's just take care of ourselves. Let's take care of this temple of God that we have. Okay? Yes. And again, the best way to be able to take care of it. Remember, for those who are on this call and you're not sick, the best way is to stay the way you are. You are the most important person to take care of this. Please get an Iteracare Premium Plus for yourself for preventative purposes. It's super important for you to make sure you avoid any illnesses or any conditions that might come because of the kind of lifestyle that you're living in and the kind of environment that you're living in. So stay healthy. Wishing you a very good night. And for all the speakers who've spoken here today, asanteni sana. I know we've, of course, gotten to hear from you on very short notice or even no notice at all.